next episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC, and we are joined in studio today by Brandi Herrman. She is a marketing strategist for Brandi Herrman Communications. How are you, Brandi?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
So, Brandi, you're going to give us some tips. Because, listen, that online presence piece, that's not easy.
No.
That's not easy. Give us some insight. Give us some marketing insight.
Well, when I think about social media and having an online presence, I think about it as first and foremost personal branding. Mm-hmm. So how do I put myself out there? It's kind of funny, as I've been teaching social media marketing for almost a decade, one of the things that I found is that students would get that message loud and clear: be careful, be careful, be careful. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people, younger people, don't post on social media at all. Mm-hmm. They use it like us older people.
Yes.
Use television.
Yes.
Where we would watch it and consume it.
Yes.
They watch and consume TikTok or whatever it is, whatever social media platform. It's really just a means of entertainment. So they don't feel a need to post. But what they're missing out on when they don't post, when they don't put themselves out there, is that nobody outside knows who they are. Mm-hmm. And as they go to go get a job, to find themselves, let alone starting their own business or anything like that, but even just trying to sell themselves and get a job, if you can't be found online, it's a little bit disconcerting.
It is now. That's so interesting.
Right? So I expect that if I search your name, I'm going to find you and I'm going to get a glimpse into who you are.
That is interesting.
And so if I go to find someone applies to a job and I go to search them up, now some people will say there's some legality issues there, right? Mm-hmm. But if I go to do that, I expect I want to find something about you.
Yeah.
And when I don't, it's almost like this alarm bell goes off in the back of my head. And I'm like, is this person real? Are they legit? What's going on?
Because there's so many, you hear about so many weird things where people, where you can't find somebody, and the whole catfishing thing, that's a thing.
Right.
And so it's amazing nowadays that social media is so popular, and things like, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, it's all out there. You almost expect that you can find anybody. And so I think when you don't find somebody, it is a little disconcerting. It is. That's a good word. It is.
And so it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But also I teach people, listen, just be thoughtful about how you create your online presence. Who are you? And be authentic and use the tools at your disposal in order to create relationships with people, right? Whether it's LinkedIn, which a lot of people think is a boring platform.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's fun, but I also know how to use it. I teach courses on how to use it, right? Because it can be a great way to sell yourself, right? And to put yourself out there, and then also to create relationships with people.
Yeah, it's kind of known as the more business,
Yeah, but guess what? My business is fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
your business is fun.
That's true. I guess your business doesn't have to be boring and stuffy.
Right? Exactly. It's not.
Yeah.
Right? So nothing I do is boring and stuffy. I don't do boring stuff, thankfully.
It's interesting. It is hard, as a small business owner, it is hard to keep up with all the platforms.
Don't. That's my first recommendation.
Woo!
Don't.
Thank you.
Find two that work for you and where your target market is. Forget about everything else. Figure out where your people are and go find them there and create relationships with them there.
That's a good point.
And so to do more than that is inauthentic anyway.
True.
Right?
That's true.
I always tell people you have to have a web presence.
Sure.
And buy your name.
Yes.
Right? BrandiHerrman.com. That's me. And I own it. Right? Buy your name. Definitely have a web presence. And then pick 2 or 3 that you can do and that you can manage. But more than that is unmanageable.
Yeah, no, it is.
Unless you're a giant business and you've got a whole team of people working for you.
Sure.
But if you're part of that process and doing it yourself, to do more than that is too much.
Yeah,
right?
You are absolutely right. And I feel very fortunate that I do have a team member who keeps up with our social media. Shout out to Aaron, who keeps up with our social media. Because otherwise, I'll get to some things like events and stuff. I'll forget to take pictures.
Yes.
I don't take any video. And then in the night, I'm like, gosh, it's like I was not even here. Like maybe my followers would
And
want to
that's
see
okay.
that.
That's okay too, right? So
Yeah.
it's, give yourself some grace to realize that you can't document your whole life, right? And that's not what it's about.
No.
But being authentic, creating relationships, and sharing what your life is about. If your business is fun,
Yeah.
then share your business in a fun way.
Yeah.
I always tell people when I'm talking about my business on LinkedIn, I talk about me as a business owner. And I talk about the strengths and the struggles and what it is for me to be a small business owner, or the joy I have in helping another small business to excel, right? That's what I want to focus on. And that's the story I want to tell. We don't tell boring stories when we're having a conversation with someone. We tell the fun, entertaining stories.
Yes, you do.
Or the emotional stories, the things that draw reaction. We do that in person.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we do that in social media as well? Why wouldn't we create that strong bond with other people?
That's a good question. And I think people who do it well, it's why you feel like you know them.
Yes, right. And isn't it great when you know someone like that?
Yeah.
I've talked to so many people when they went, it's really fascinating. A lot of people want to work remote. Well, if you want to work remote, then your digital world has got to be the world you're living in.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's
So
true.
create that world as real and as authentic as it can be, so that you have an opportunity to find a job in a digital, that digital world, remote work, so that you can make connections.
Yeah, and I know, and this is, before we go, this is a generality and maybe not true for all, but what do you find? Like they say, oh, Facebook is for older people, Instagram is for, like, do you find that holds true? I mean, for the most part.
Yes, but it changes over time.
Okay.
So constantly staying vigilant and watching what the trends are is absolutely important, but it doesn't mean you have to jump on.
Yeah.
I'm still not on TikTok.
Me either. Okay, so I don't feel, okay, so good. We have that in common.
Yeah,
I don't feel so
absolutely.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get it.
I'm
I
not
watch
there
the
yet.
videos
I
if somebody
understand
sends them, but
I understand it, but I'm not there.
yeah, no, me either.
It's not for my brand.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Somebody have to convince me otherwise.
Okay.
Brandi, thank you so much for joining us.
It was wonderful to
I
talk.
appreciate it. I love talking about this kind of stuff with you.
Yeah.